Welcome to the Geek Wrestling Podcast. I am Jose Sands. I'm here with
Hollywood, watching Arrow.
Watching Arrow and
Big Ralph.
We're
Not
here
watching anything.
Not watching anything. We're here to talk about this week in wrestling, what could have been, what should have been, and what was. Now, let's just rip the Band-Aid off if we can. We are currently in a point system with pay-per-views. When we last left, which was Royal Rumble and NXT, Ralph was ahead. He had 10, I believe. No.
It was 8.
9. No, 8. He had 8, I had 6, and Hollywood had 6. And now we just did the pay-per-view. We'll say the results, and then we'll say the results of the pay-per-view, and then we will say the results of our point system. So first we have the Elimination Chamber match. We have the kickoff match, right? That was first.
The kickoff match, yes.
No, the kickoff match we didn't do anything on, but there was a kickoff match. It was the Good Brothers, or the Balor Club that they're calling them, I guess, because they go from the Good Brothers to the Club to the Balor Club, versus the Miztourage, the Bo Dallas, and the Curtis Axel, where the Good Brothers Club, whatever they're called, beat them. Then they had a backstage segment with the Revival, which seems to be a feud between those two tag teams now. Not a crazy match, just a filler. It started. The Good Brothers look like they're coming up, getting the crowd behind them. Not sure about the whole nerd thing, but seems to be working for them. So then we start the Elimination Chamber, and we started off with the Women's Elimination Chamber match. So we had the participants of Sonya Deville. Hello, how are you? Welcome to the podcast. My name's Jose Sands. I'm here with...
What the hell?
Hi, what the hell? How are you?
What happened?
Nothing. You said hello, and I went with it.
Oh, because my headphones, for whatever reason, I couldn't hear anything, so it's just like, what the hell? I don't hear anything.
Well, we're talking about the first ever Women's Elimination Chamber match. Participants were Bayley, Sasha Banks, Sonya Deville, Mandy Rose, Alexa Bliss. Who am I missing?
Mickie James.
Mickie James, that's the one I was missing. The winner of that match was Alexa Bliss. We had a couple things happen in that match that furthered the story, which we saw Sasha Banks, where we had Sasha Banks turn on Bayley, which everybody was expecting. What did we think of the match? Were we happy with the winner? Is it where it should be?
Yes.
Plus, I have to say, Mickie James was looking damn good in that match.
She still got it.
Yeah, she definitely still got it. I was sad to see her leave. I thought they could have used her a little bit more towards the end.
I think she should have ended the match, especially seeing how they had built up how her and Alexa Bliss had this kind of ally relationship going on, but they just didn't do anything with that tease that they had.
Yeah, I think they're just building towards Wrestlemania with the Sasha Bayley feud, so they kind of took Mickie out of it because of that. But I think if they didn't go for that, they could have had her towards the end, like you said. She was looking really good.
I think they also eliminated Golden Goddess Jr. because she looks so much like Alexa.
Golden Goddess Jr.
Golden Goddess Jr. Would it be a junior if it's a woman? I mean,
Juniors don't matter. You're a second, so you're a junior. Like
well,
Queen
can't you
Elizabeth
just say
II.
Junior Goddess the second? Why do we have to say junior? Because junior, you usually feel it's a male thing.
Golden Goddess II.
Okay, that's much better. And the Golden Goddess II has the distinguished honor of being the first woman eliminated from a Royal Rumble and the first woman eliminated for the Elimination Chamber. So kudos to her. Nobody has a comment on that. Okay, going on. The Bar beats Titus Worldwide, which is Titus O'Neil and Apollo were dropping the cruise. That was a very good match.
I don't think Hollywood said he had something to say.
He did? What did he have to say?
Anything. So I was like, do we lose them?
I think you did.
No, you're still here though. I don't know, whatever. So you just like went really quick into like the next match, but I want to say something about the women's match.
I paused. Nobody said anything.
He said,
It
wait.
was a short pause.
I didn't hear anything then.
Oh, okay. Well, I think for being the first Elimination Chamber match by women, it was actually really, really good, and I enjoyed it a lot more than I enjoyed the men's Elimination Chamber match.
I agree. That was the better of the Elimination Chamber matches.
Bass cello.
Bass cello, very good. Braun is very proficient in playing the bass cello.
I like that match.
Say again, Ralph.
I like the match. I did think, aside from Sasha doing her heel at like the wrong time, which I felt was the wrong time, I think they should have eliminated Alexa Bliss and then gotten into it with each other. But aside from that, I thought it was a great match.
Why would you eliminate the Golden Goddess? Why would you do that?
Because you want to be the champion. Eliminating her means there's going to be a new champion.
But I don't think the Bayley-Sasha feud actually needs a title. I think it stands on its own without it.
I agree. But I mean, like, story-wise, her just doing that heel move at, like, the most inopportune time for her just kind of threw it off for me.
It's a fair point.
But, I mean, they're already setting it up. They don't really need... I mean, the title would elevate it a little bit more, but you've got the idea that Sasha can't beat Bayley.
Has she ever beaten Bayley? I don't think she has, right?
Maybe. I don't know. I don't know all of their NXT work, but I guess when it matters, Sasha can't beat Bayley, and that's the story they're going with. Bayley beat her for the title. They did the rematch. Bayley beat her again. Bayley beat her in Raw before Elimination Chamber. It's like that thing. It's like, Bayley can't beat Asuka, or Charlotte. Well, Charlotte beat Sasha, but I mean, before Charlotte could beat Sasha. So,
Or no one can beat Asuka.
No one's ready for Asuka.
I'm ready for Asuka.
I know, but there might be different reasons for that. Yeah.
Come at him, Asuka. Come at him.
Yeah, he'll be happy if you come at him.
I would very much appreciate that.
I very much appreciate that. Okay. That doesn't sound creepy whatsoever.
Because it's not.
Can I go to the next match, or do we have like a little more?
We can go to the next match.
The Bar versus Titus Worldwide.
Worldwide?
The Bar beats Titus Worldwide, which is Titus O'Neil and Apollo dropping the cruise. Obvious pick. We all picked that one. Let's go for that. We all picked Alexa Bliss to win the Elimination Chamber.
We didn't all pick Alexa Bliss, did we?
Yeah.
Oh.
We all picked Alexa. And then we all picked the Bar when it got added after. It wasn't on the podcast because this match got added after the fact, but we all picked it between ourselves, which that was great. The next match I got is Asuka versus Nia Jax, where Nia Jax looks dominant through the whole thing, and then we get Asuka pinning her with a roll-up. What did you guys think? Was that match showing Asuka's strong contender? Did you think that it made Asuka look too weak?
Honestly, I think it made her look a little weak, and it made Nia look that much more stronger.
Do you think this is because they're putting Nia in the championship bout in WrestleMania, or is it just because they just want that dominant female athlete like Braun Strowman of the women's division?
Last week, I said that they might add Nia just because Asuka can't cut a promo, but because I picked for like outside interference or something like that. But the match itself, I think for me was match of the night after the women's Elimination Chamber. Like I really enjoyed that match. Like even though Asuka looked like she got dominated by Nia, like I don't know, something about the match, like it kind of made me seem that Asuka wasn't weak, but she's able to come back and triumph over like anything. So I mean, yeah, I don't see her as weak at all because it's Nia Jax, man. No matter who Nia's in the ring with, she's gonna beat him up pretty good.
I can see your point on that, and I agree. I think I picked Nia as well. thinking that it would be better to have her in the main event at WrestleMania because we all just don't think that Asuka Alexa is something that you feel will be
Yeah. You don't feel that Alexa can
can
legit
beat her, right?
Yeah.
Plus, we have to keep in mind, Asuka still hasn't. Did she pick who she wanted to fight? Or
No, technically no.
Technically no, but they're leading, and like if you hear the commentators, they're leading towards her versus Alexa for the Raw Women's. So, but technically, she herself hasn't picked who she wants to fight.
Interesting, my friends. Interesting.
So
now, I have a question for you regarding that match. The ending of that match, do you think it devalued the win, or that just made Nia that much more stronger?
Made Nia that much more stronger.
And it made Asuka a lot more crafty in her winning variety of ways.
Okay.
Her winning variety of waves.
She can knock you out, she can submit you, or she can roll you up without you realizing what happened.
I understood what it meant. I was just repeating it. My God, man.
No, I'm sorry if you misunderstood. I meant the way that Nia just destroyed Asuka at the end. Not the way Asuka won, but the way that Nia just destroyed her. Did that just demoralize Asuka's win, or that was just to show how much more powerful Nia can be?
I think she was pissed, and she was just like, nah.
Yeah, I'm with Hollywood on that. She's just pissed.
We're gonna get to it when we get to the men's match. But if you see at the men's Elimination Chamber match, they did the same thing with Braun Strowman and the winner of that match.
True. But again, it was because Braun Strowman, just like Nia, was pissed that they lost. So, of course. Okay. I mean, if you're mad and you didn't get knocked out, then I would take it out on him. Make sure look good.
At least he didn't do like Brock Lesnar did and just destroyed everybody, and not just the wrestlers.
Right. She's the Braun Strowman of the women's division.
Is men's the same as women's?
Men's is the same as women's.
No, they're two different things. Men's have different parts than women's, so no, they're not. I mean, if I have to go do this conversation, I mean, we could do a whole nother podcast for you, Marcus, just so you understand the difference between men's and women's.
It's Big Ralph and his Hispanic accent that adds the S at the end of almost everything.
Come at me now, Jose Sands.
Oh, all right. Well, the other come at me feud that we had was the Woken Matt Hardy versus Bray Wyatt, which the highlight of that match was the beach ball in the back, right?
I mean, it was I rewatched the pay-per-view when I got home from work, and it was actually, that match wasn't that bad at all.
No, the match wasn't bad. I think the crowd not being into it was what sucked it.
The setup for the match, they haven't done a great job setting up the matches between Woken Hardy and Bray Wyatt, so the people are not into it as they should be. Until he goes delete, that's when people get into it, and every other time it's like Rusev Day, beach ball. So the crowd is just not getting in behind the matches.
I'll give this to Matt Hardy. Matt Hardy took that beach balls incident and turned it to his advantage by pretending he ran with it. He was like, he's like helping the masses, do the wave or whatever. I mean, and the beginning where he disappears and starts singing the song. I mean, he knows how to work the audience, and he used that to his advantage. The match itself, like Hollywood said, if you really watch the match without listening to the crowd or paying attention to what they're doing, it was a very good match. Who knows where they're going to go? Hopefully.
Wyatt goes hilarious.
Hello.
Stop
doing that, man.
Doing what?
You're just like, Ralph says something, and we're just like, okay.
Well, no, well, first you criticized that I didn't let you talk about the women's match. Now I'm letting you talk, and now you're criticizing that I'm too quiet. Give me a break, man.
Sorry.
So
I think
So the winner of the Woken Matt Hardy and the Bray Wyatt match was Woken Matt, which both myself and Ralph picked, but Hollywood decided to go the way of the Bray. So
I went Bray because I figured Matt beat him in a dark match after Raw, I think the previous week. And WWE with their 50-50 booking, so I was like, I might as well give it to Bray since.
It's true.
Why
He
not?
did. He did. He beat him at the 25th anniversary. Of Raw.
Yeah, so I mean, just
So-
well, I guess we'll talk about it later. But I have issues with their booking. But yeah, you can always tell who's going to win by who wins the previous match.
Sometimes, yeah.
Sometimes. So of course,
This one was not one of those times.
So one of the other major things that happened at the Elimination Chamber was the signing of Ronda Rousey. That segment was, I thought, pretty funny because Kurt kind of made me laugh with the whole, hey, you said da 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 da. I like the other funny thing that I saw was then when Ronda's looking at the contract, it's like one piece of paper.
It says Ronda Rousey
It says
and
Ronda
Raw.
Rousey in real big letters, and she's like, she flips it, and then she's like, "There's no more pages."
That's so ghetto, man.
I know, like you could have thrown some other, you could put whatever in there. You put the script in there, nobody would know. But it was just funny.
I guess it's like the list of Jericho because you don't see like the names on it.
No, but when you used to see the list when you actually showed you the paper, it was like 4 or 5 pieces of paper. It wasn't just one paper.
No, but they could have done it like they do whenever there's a contract signing that they have those, they flip. It's like 2 pages.
Yeah, something.
They could have done something like that, but
because
like
your contract
1
was
page.
like you signed with Raw Ronda Rousey.
Yeah, man, but it's that they're putting it back on the budget, pyro,
Look, we're $1 billion company, but we can only afford 1 piece of paper for your contract. It says everything in really
No.
small print.
No, man, they're trying to save the trees.
They're saving the trees.
trees.
They're economically friendly.
Yeah.
Well, just go digital. Have her sign us iPad or something.
Right? You could do that, but then, the way they throw everybody around, you could break that iPad. That's a lot of money for an iPad.
Nah, but it's in the cloud, so it's okay.
It's in the cloud.
Well, going back to Kurt.
So Kurt says
reminded me.
Huh?
Kurt reminded me of your drunk uncle who just says everything and anything that pops into his head.
Yeah, he causes a little friction between the McMahon Hemsley, I guess you can call him, and Stephanie gets inside and starts screaming for her life. Trips comes back, and then he gets back suplexed into the table, which gave a great pop. And then she signs it, of course, and then walks away. She gets a mega slap from Stephanie, which was the stiffest slap I've ever seen. Stephanie,
You can take it though.
oh, she could take it, but I mean, it was like, oh my god! And when Stephanie slaps people, you just go, oh, because you just know she doesn't have like any control. She just goes all in, and it's like, damn, that the handprint and everything is there.
Like
Nah, but
when,
I've
whenever
heard, they want her to slap for real though. Like from listening to other wrestlers talk about Stephanie, they tell her, no, slap me for real. Like slap me, don't beat around, but hit me. And she's like, okay, so she does it.
So she goes nuts.
like whenever she slaps someone, all I can think of is when she slapped her mom, and I was like, damn, like that had to hurt.
Su madre.
Exactly. Ah, su madre.
So nobody. We did have a bold prediction from Mr. Hollywood saying that she was going to swerve everybody and sign with SmackDown. I did not count that to the points charge that we had.
I would have got a negative point.
You would have got a negative point for that. So,
Because she signed with Raw.
yeah. So I don't know if last year you were on a hot streak with booking. This year you said, mark my words, I believe you said, you heard it here, Hollywood predicts, and then you predicted the SmackDown thing, which did not happen. So I don't know if there should be, I don't know if you should be making bold predictions like that since your streak this year has not been very good.
that evil dictator, Mick Mahan, he listens to this podcast, and he was like, all right, so Hollywood said that? Well, I got you. And he just flipped it on me.
He flipped, right, because he was like, hey.
He's like, no, we can't have Hollywood guessing everything correctly, so.
Yeah, he was like, no. Let's not, Hollywood. This podcast is ruining our business.
It pretty much is, man. I mean, we're the inside. We got all the scoops. We got all the news that other people share. So we just take it and report it. So
We don't do our own research. We just read everybody else's stuff. Is that what you're saying?
And Hollywood says this: if AJ doesn't walk into WrestleMania as the champion against Nakamura, I will boycott WrestleMania and I won't watch it. And I forfeit all my points.
Forfeit. Okay. All right. Well, I mean, that prediction, if that does happen, you can actually, bank on, because it's you doing it and not you just making some bold prediction about SmackDown. So
I drink and I know. Well, I don't drink anymore, but I know things.
So the last match was the men's Elimination Chamber match, which we saw the 7 men, three to start, which was it was Miz. Gosh, I forgot it by now. It was Miz who started. It wasn't Strowman. Miz, Rollins, and Balor. Which, after the performance that Rollins did, that man is just over. Over.
He's CrossFit Jesus.
What did you guys think of the Elimination Chamber match? I know you two picked Reigns when I picked Strowman. Of course, you won. How do you feel about the match? I know you mentioned earlier that you thought the women's was better. You know what, Tyrion Lannister, I'm taking it to you.
As fun as the previous ones have been, I thought the ending was predictable because we knew that Roman was going to win. And I don't know, man. It kind of fell flat for me, especially after, because I knew Reigns was going to win, but I was hoping they will pull the trigger on Strowman, and him losing the 2 spears. I'm just like, you eliminate everybody, get eliminated by just 2. Come on, man. Why?
After he takes everybody's finisher and kicks out, 2 spears is what gets him down. Yeah.
That made no sense.
No.
But this is also the man that killed Kane, that flipped over various vehicles, pulled down entire stagings.
Has his own trucking company.
Survived in a garbage truck for a week and then came back, and he loses to 1 F5
and plays the bass cello.
Yeah, all that. I'm just like, WWE, what the hell, man? What are you doing?
Well, now we know it is Reigns versus Brock for the Universal title at WrestleMania. And again, you two picked Reigns. I picked Strowman. Ralph, do you have any comments on the match?
You mean on the Strowman Elimination Chamber?
The Strowman Elimination Chamber, yes.
Because that's what they should name it after that match. They should just name it Strowman's match.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, he eliminated everybody. It's a world record. Or record for the Elimination Chamber.
A wrestling record.
It's a world record of the world.
It's a world record of the world. The tally of this, when we started, we said it was 866. The tally is now, with all the predictions and everything, is 13 Ralph, 9 me, and 9 Marcus. Marcus and I are still tied for second. But then, the old saying is, if you're not first, you're last. So I guess we're last. We got one more pay-per-view, which is Fastlane, which is coming up in a week. So hopefully one of us can pull ahead of each other and then, pull ahead of Ralph, which I don't see that happening.
He got it this time.
I think he got it this time. It's just a matter of who's going to be last between Marcus and I.
I'm not going to get cocky because then that's when I start losing.
Well, you pitched a no hitter here. In other words, you wrecked everything. I mean, you got every match right. You
Yeah,
are
but we still
the WWE booking committee.
see. It says a lot about their booking right now when I can guess everything. Not Hollywood, I can guess everything. That's how bad it is.
Can we talk about their booking?
We can talk about their booking.
All right, listen to Hollywood.
Oh, God.
Hollywood. Listen to listen to a story from a man named Hollywood Marcus. All right, here we go. And this is going to be a semi rant. So strap in, get some popcorn, get some tequila, take a shot. Do what you got to do. Smoke it if you got it. Here we go. So their booking right now sucks. It's horrible. I don't understand what WWE is doing. I don't understand why they're booking the way they're booking. People who are getting over organically aren't allowed to stay over the way they should be. They aren't given better opportunities. They aren't given better shots. Your top two acts in Rusev Day and Strowman, right? Over. The crowd loves them. Chant their names, everything. So Strowman gets relegated to like mid-card tomfoolery. Rusev Day isn't even on the show some days, and I'm just like, I don't understand. You're booking,
And even when he is on the show, he's just a sideline.
yeah. It's like, come on, man. It's because I'm like the Fashion Files. Like the people love them. Put them in actual tag team matches that they are getting squashed in. Multiple multi-man matches that really don't add up to anything, don't contribute to stories, don't further storylines, just to get people off the show. I mean, for me personally, if I don't see you every week, I'm okay with that. It makes me want to see you more the next week. It helps build anticipation. So when you do see that person, it's like, oh my god, look, it's him, it's Finn Balor, or it's Cena, or it's Reigns. Like, make me want to see you. Just don't be in a match just for the sake of being in a match. Like, what is it? 6-pack challenge for the WWE title, 7-man chamber. I just read online today that they're going to do like a fatal 5-way for the IC title at WrestleMania. It's like, no, stop, WWE. Stop. Take your time. Write out a decent story. Tell that story. Have a middle, beginning, and conclusion. Then have them move on to a different program. Like, I have another point to make about this when Mr. Sands talks about his match of the week. That's very relevant to what I'm talking about now, but it's like, you can't tell a decent story because it's so convoluted and everything else, and it's really annoying, and it makes me, like this week, I didn't watch SmackDown. I just heard about the relevant points from YouTube because I knew the show was going to be worth watching, and I'm just like, I don't know. Just their booking makes me very turned off from the product right now.
Lately, SmackDown has been lacking in story. It started out strong, but now it's like, It's gone back to, and I hate to say this, but it's gone back to being a B show.
Oh, is it a B plus?
Eh.
Well, I'm glad you got that rant out.
I feel better now.
I'm good. Can you do it again? Because I don't think I got everything.
I can't. I can't.
I got it. I got it.
I can't do it again. I'll write something up and send it personally to Mick Mahan. Wow, man. You've been trolling me all day today.
Wait, okay, so out of curiosity, do you usually do a story from the middle, the beginning to the end? Because that's not how I usually do the beginning, then the middle, then the end.
That's what I said.
No, you can play this back. You said they need to write a story from the middle, beginning to the end. I'm like, I don't think you write stories that way, Mr. Hollywood there.
Oh, then edit that part out, or don't over it. I don't know, but I meant the beginning, the middle, and the end.
Blame it on the happy juice.
I haven't had a drink in 2 weeks.
So I see your jeez, it sounds like you're trying to like get off the wagon. What's going on here?
Maybe I need to get. I don't know.
Wagon.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I got bored, so I'm like, all right.
You know what? I agree.
Booker,
the booking is just. What can you say? I mean, there's some good things. I have to say Raw has brought up its game a little bit more than SmackDown. But I agree. There are some angles. Maybe they have too many people. They can't concentrate on decent writing. I don't know. I can't. Too many wheels going. Who knows? I have to say that
But
some
then
of
you
it's
fire
engine.
people who get over. Like Emma, you fire her because she's trying to get over. Like, why? Stupid. No.
The problem is, unless you get over by the way they booked you, they bury you. So if you're getting over because of your charisma, he's like, no, no, that's not good for me. I did not make this, so you are not good. Let's put you in mid card. Like,
The one thing we didn't talk about on the Elimination Chamber is the promo that Alexa cut right after the Chamber match.
That was great.
She was just like, I just want to say, oh, you were great. If you want to dream, you do it, but you're never going to because you're not as good as me. I'm like, damn.
No, she knocked that out of the park. That was awesome.
Jesus.
And I'm thinking to myself, is she going to turn face? Is this it? Because she's like, no.
I thought that too. It's like, well, they're kind of teasing it with the whole Mickey team up, and you're like, oh wow, she's going face. Okay, I'm all right with that. She's already over with the fans. Why not? And then she does that turn, and you just went, oh. And this is why we all love Alexa Bliss,
The golden goddess.
the Golden Goddess. The aftermath of the Elimination Chamber came over to Raw. Of course, we've got the thing that Mr. Hollywood loves is a multi-women match between Sasha, Bailey, Asuka, and Bliss, Nia, and Mickey. The one thing we want to take away from that match is that Bailey, pretty much before Sasha goes to make the tag, Bailey jumps off and leaves. Now, I'm only bringing this up because the Bailey character seems to be the more face-friendly, you're going to do the right thing character. For her to jump off the apron and also leave Asuka in that sense and walk out, that seems like a more heelish thing to do. Do you think we are going to see a heel Bailey?
I don't know, but then that's really confusing because Sasha turned on her at the Elimination Chamber, so you would think Sasha would turn heel, but Bailey's getting her due revenge. It wasn't bad because you hurt me. No, I hurt you back. So I mean, is she turning heel? Like, I don't understand.
it seems that way, but I don't know how you would turn her character is much like a Cena type character, so I don't know how you would turn it heel without affecting your fan sales or anything like that.
I don't know. I just think that it was a heelish move, and I was just curious on what you guys thought about it.
Depends on who sells more merch. Whoever sells more merch is going to stay face.
Well, I'm sure Bailey sells more merch. I don't know.
I don't know if you guys follow them on Twitter, but Sasha did make a comment on Twitter. It's like, I haven't heard from you. Sad emoji face.
Well, if you really want to keep the kayfabe, I don't know.
Interesting.
You know what? My thing is, we all know it's all planned, right? We know, right? But there is that sense of interesting mystery that it is that you don't know if they really do not like each other or if this is ruining their friendship. And part of me wishes that their social media and all that stuff would kind of take that storyline and build it off of that, because it would work. We could take the Jericho Omega thing where he comes out and then he's just blasting each other through Twitter, and then later on when the match is over, you've got Omega and Jericho talking about it, and how they built it and everything like that. I have no problem with it after the fact. I think to build it, though, you need to kind of go that route and use your social media, use the things that you have all the time to kind of further that storyline. I think that's a lost art, I guess you'd say, where you have these two people who are fighting and then see them, taking pictures in front of some monument of whatever they're traveling to. It's just kind of, or working out together. You kind of go, well, you're really not helping that any, The one diva that I always look at is Natalia. Natalia takes pictures with everybody. And she's like, oh,
Everybody.
you know what I mean? It's like, okay, I I don't mind it, but if you're feuding with that person, you shouldn't be
Then yeah,
taking pictures with them. You know?
That's the problem with social media. Like, you can't stop it. And like Bray Wyatt, for example, he's on social media taking pictures and posing and smiling. I'm like, you're supposed to be the eater of terrestrial entities, and you're posing like with some chick on. Like, no, man. How am I supposed to believe you're really as bad as you say you are, but you're smiling and posing and stuff? Nah,
I mean,
man.
that was the whole thing with The Undertaker. They protected that character so much. He didn't do anything. The only reason why now we're seeing some Undertaker sightings is mostly because of his wife, and two, he's coming to the end of his career, right? He doesn't need to keep that mystique about him. People love him no matter what. So, I don't know. Like I said, it's just one of those things where I go, if I was in this situation, if I was doing what they're doing, I would keep that storyline going through my social media. If I have to do it, and that's part of my job is to keep fans interested in it, I would totally. I think Kevin Owens is probably the only person that I know who uses the social media to further on that character. You know,
Oh, he's pretty savage too, man.
I
The
know,
things
but it's
he does on social media, wow.
So, another thing that we got on Raw was John Cena saying, "I don't know my road to WrestleMania," and he teased the Undertaker thing, which he then said no, which popped everybody real big. And now he's heading over to SmackDown, which we'll talk about what he did at SmackDown and that fiasco. Do we think he's putting that out there just to swerve us about the Undertaker, or do you think Undertaker is actually coming over? Again, we're talking social media. His wife posted him doing squats with squats, so you're thinking maybe the hip is doing a little bit better, or is it just that nobody knows what's going on until the Undertaker says so?
I think no one knows until he says so.
I
Honestly.
think John Cena's a little baby and needs to go sit down in a corner somewhere and suck his thumb.
He has become sort of a whiner.
And again,
I can't win. I'm gonna go to SmackDown because I can't win. Shut up.
Well, do you think, and this is also going off the Bailey debate we just had earlier, do you think this storyline is going to bring John Cena to a more heelish role because he can't get into WrestleMania?
He needs to. Go ahead.
Go ahead, who?
Ralph, because I heard him start to talk.
I didn't start to talk.
Nobody started his talk.
Then I'll go then. Supposedly he's...
I think it's that era that you're watching.
No, I'm not watching anything anymore. I just... I hear an echo, that's why. So I thought somebody started talking, but it was just me talking to myself, basically. So... Alright, so supposedly Rey Mysterio signed to fight Cena, and there's no way Rey comes into WrestleMania as a heel. Like, no. So maybe Cena does need to go heel, especially since he's not as prominent as he used to be. I don't see why he should stay face. So, yeah.
You think he's in that Hogan thing where Hogan was right before he turned heel? Like
he can, yeah, I think
he can go, but nobody's really into that gimmick anymore. And Hogan turned heel and just brought himself to another level.
As long as he's not Hollywood Cena, he can do it.
No.
And we had a whole debate at lunch about Super Cena versus various people. Super Cena usually won.
I have a question about Cena.
Super Cena?
Super Cena.
Well, I guess he's not. Well, is he still Super Cena? Because he still, does some extravagant things.
If you can't see him when he's a face, are you going to be able to see him when he turns heel?
You might be able to.
Because I would think that you can't see me is kind of a Super Cena face ability.
Yeah, because right now, not even Superman can see him.
No. Would it be bad if somebody just came into ring and was like, "Okay, you're gonna fight John Cena," and he'll just go, "Okay, John," and John's in the ring, be say, "Okay, John, when are you gonna be here? Where are you?
I can't see you.
Where are you? Can you come down to the ring?" And then just cut like a badass promo, be like, "Hey, John Cena's a coward. He doesn't even show up in the ring. He's just standing behind him or something."
I don't know.
So, speaking of promos that someone cut, let's talk about Roman Reigns and the promo he cut on Brock Lesnar for not showing up at Raw. Now, there is this. Now, this is one of those things where we don't know if it's a work or a shoot. Okay, but it's one of the first promos I have there. One of the only promos I can think of in a long time that actually Roman Reigns showed up to and did really good, where he got even the crowd behind him. So, and again, this is one of those things where I don't want social media or anybody to tell me if it was a work. I want to believe it was a shoot. Because it's building this aura around that match now about Brock Lesnar. What do you guys think?
I mean, something in me tells me that it's a work because everything in WWE is a work and nothing gets past Vince without, approval. So I'm like, yeah, I want it to be a shoot like you, but I'm thinking it's a work.
I mean, it might be like a work shoot where he's actually saying the truth and he's speaking his mind, but it was approved backstage before he came out.
Oh.
When people say, I don't care what the guys in the back say, it kind of makes you think it's not real.
Yeah.
I don't care. I'm going to say but the fact that he actually cut a promo that I was excited about, that's what kind of intrigued me. I was like, damn, Roman, that's really good. I'm glad you finally showed up.
It's like, where was that Roman, during his battle against Cena?
Well, Cena got it out of him eventually, and that was great. But if you don't have a talker like Cena, and you just got Roman going against somebody else, it's really nothing. It's like a smug person trying to tell you, "Oh, I could do this, whatever you want," nothing behind it. There's no characters, no passion. There's no nothing. This had passion. This had fire in it, and it showed me. It's like, damn, that's the Miz shooting on work shooting on Daniel Bryan. Right there. That puts you in a different level.
But they can't drop the ball on it because remember, this happened before. Remember back when he destroyed Triple H, put him through a table, beat him, and then everybody, the whole arena, they legitimately cheered for him, right? Do you remember that when he did that?
Yeah.
And then the next week, it was just back to the same old thing. I'm like, all right, WWE, this is your second chance. This is part 2. Don't drop the ball. They can't mess this up now. He got some momentum. He cut a really good promo. I got people behind him. I'll just roll with it. Don't stop the momentum like they did last time.
I hope they keep it up. I hope it reminds me of the promos that went back and forth between Cena and Rock when that feud was going on for WrestleMania, where you had Cena pretty much doing most of the promos because The Rock couldn't come every time, and then The Rock coming, and then they had that back and forth. You know what? If they can pull it off, I'm hoping it works. If it's a shoot, I'm happy because I think it shows, like I said, Roman with more passion. If it's a work, you've got me right now. I just don't tell me it's a work.
Yeah, no backstage, no,
none of that. Like I said,
podcast saying, no.
Yeah, if you want to do a behind the scenes or a WrestleMania 24/7, 3 months down the line, and then tell us what happened, then that's fine. But right now, keep it as this. So another work shoot type thing, probably not, more like a work, is the whole Authority versus Ronda Rousey and Kurt segment, where Ronda pretty much begs Stephanie to give her an apology, and of course Stephanie's like, "Please don't hurt me, I slapped the crap out of you." And then they do that whole thing, and then Trips just cheap shots for Kurt, which was really odd.
It didn't even look like it connected though. Like it hit his chest or something.
Weird. But this is pretty much setting up the Kurt and Ronda versus Stephanie and Trips.
Trips.
Yeah,
I like Trips. It's shorter than Triple H, so I say Trips.
Just call him Paul.
I don't know him very well to call him Paul. him and I are not really, we're not buddy-buddy. He doesn't take my phone calls, so I don't feel like we're
I'll call him.
friends.
I'm gonna call him Paul.
You gonna call him Paul?
I'm gonna call him Paul from now on.
Mr. Levesque.
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 Levesque, Paul, Trips.
Something like that.
So, we're setting that up, and now let's move over
the man with 3 H's.
The 3H'd man.
As Matt Hardy would say. That's what he calls him. He calls him the man with 3 H's.
So let's move over to SmackDown.
He has nothing to say. He's just like, whatever.
What do you want me to say to that? Okay, he's got a man with 3 H's.
Jessica Nigri.
What does that have to do with anything? She's not even a wrestler.
I don't know. But I'm looking at her. I'm looking at her cosplay. So
okay, well, pay attention. We're in the middle of a show here. Come on. 6-man tag team champions. Give me a break.
Because she took a picture with Meg Turney. I'm just like, oh.
So let's move over to SmackDown. John Cena comes to SmackDown, pretty much begging to be in a match because he has no road to WrestleMania. Apparently, we like pointing at the sign. So John Cena gets a thing to Brian, comes out and says, hey, by the way, you know what? Why don't you, if you can defeat the WWE champion, you're added in the match. We're going to make it a fatal 6-way or 6-pack challenge. I don't know what that's called when there's 6 of them. A hexagon. So we got that happening, and of course, later on that night, you've got Cena winning against Styles clean, and now he's added to the match. I know how you feel about multi-man matches.
It's not even a multi-man match, but why would you pin the champion of the world leading up to WrestleMania? That devalues the champion. Like, come on, man. Like, no, Cena.
Does it devalue the champion, or does it show that he has to work even harder against these people to win?
I mean, you're already in a fatal 5-way, and beating unsurmountable odds like that makes you look strong in itself. But having Cena do his whole Super Cena, Cena, I can no. Booking again. You beat the champion of the world like 6 weeks away from WrestleMania. So, and where's Nakamura, right? Like, oh my goodness.
He's beating up Aiden English.
Yeah, but when was Royal Rumble? In January, right? Royal Rumble is, oh, damn it. WrestleMania is in March or April?
April, because March is Fastlane.
WrestleMania 34, the Google machine will tell me. April 8th, 2018. So you have February, March, April. You have 3 months to build up a credible, believable, awesome story between Nakamura and AJ. And what do? What do? You pin your world champion, put him in a 6-man match, and then when is Fastlane?
In a week. So.
To Fastlane 2018. All right, so March 11th is Fastlane. So that means that you have like a month to build a story, a WrestleMania story between AJ and Nakamura. Come on, man! Like, seriously, like, oh my, they're dropping the ball so hard, so hard, and it's WrestleMania, which is a quote unquote the best show of the year. I want to super kick Vince in his grapefruits.
Wow. Ralph, do you have any opinion on this?
There's nothing I can say that can top what Hollywood just said.
No.
You don't have to top it. Just tell me. Just tell the world how you feel.
Once you start squeezing grapefruits, it's just you can't top that.
Yeah. I don't know. I pretty much feel the same way, except for the grapefruit part. I don't think Cena should have been added into that Fastlane match. I don't think he's earned that spot. He's been away for so long, and then he was on Raw for so much time. So it's like, you just come to SmackDown, so you're Cena. It's like, okay, give me an opportunity, give me a title shot. No. There's people that have been there longer, that have been in and out, and they earned their spot, and that's why they're in the match. And just because you're Cena and you're the quote unquote face that runs the place. No.
Juan Cena es un pendejo.
Juan Cena es un pendejo.
So jeez. Okay, so speaking of like lazy writing, I guess we've got the Usos and the New Day doing renewing their rivalry. Are we, are we getting a little tired of that, or do you think it's just going to put the Bludgeon Brothers in there as well and kind of putting that spin on it?
I heard Big E cut a promo that was pretty good. Other than that, I don't care.
No, they cut a great promo. I mean, it was good, but then they we call it, they pound their chest, they get all that, they get all crazy, and then the Bludgeon Brothers come out and everybody leaves. It's like,
I think they're overproduced. I think the Bludgeon Brothers should show a little bit more fluidity in what they do, because it seems like they're robots. So I don't know. I like Harper. I've always liked Harper, and at least he's getting something.
No, I agree with that. Give him something to do, but man, if there's story, you need to build it a little bit more. Right now, it just seems you're rehashing a rivalry, which, like you said earlier, you've got so many other tag teams that can do. You got Rusev Day, you got the Fashion Police, we got even Ascension. Come on, give somebody else a chance here.
You have
bring up Authors of Pain. I don't know.
The Great American Alpha.
Yeah.
You left, but they're still there.
The Great American Alpha.
I like that. That's actually good.
Oh my gosh. The Great American Alpha. Okay, I can dig it.
See,
oh my gosh.
Because they were just American Alpha with He Who Shall Not Be Named. Now that Shelton Benjamin's there, it's the Great American Alpha.
Yeah, but what about the world's greatest tag team, though? That's the great part, right?
That's the great part. Shelton Benjamin made that great.
Oh, wow. I see. So, Team Angle 2.0.
Team Angle 2.0. Well. Now it's time for Jose Sands 205 Live results.
You're the only one who saw it.
Continuing with the tournament to get the new Cruiserweight champion that's going to be at WrestleMania.
Is everybody again?
Huh?
Oh, there we go. No, I couldn't hear anything. I had to adjust the audio on my headset. I don't know. Whatever. Speak. Go.
So we have the brackets going for the new Cruiserweight champion. We had Cedric Alexander versus TJP, where Cedric beats TJP. So the first ever Cruiserweight champion will not be the newest Cruiserweight champion. We also had Roderick Strong fight Kalisto, and believe it or not, that match was damn good. With Roderick Strong coming out on top, who face Cedric Alexander in 2 weeks. So I'm interested to see what's going to happen there, because it always looks like Cedric Alexander is going to be the person that they're going to.
Is that for the title?
That's for, it's to fight to be the last.
Semifinals.
It's the semifinals. Next week you got Buddy Murphy fighting Mustafa Ali, and Drew Gulak fighting. Oh God, who was he fighting? He's fighting another guy too. Who was it?
I'm very jealous of Buddy Murphy.
So, anyways, that's what's happening on 205 Live. You guys got anything you want to add? Oh, I want to talk about the Hall of Fame. What did you guys think about Ivory and Jeff Jarrett, Double J, coming in?
Didn't we talk about Double J last week?
No,
nope.
We did not.
Oh, well, I'm surprised he made it in, because apparently he has a lot of heat with Vince, but Triple H brokered that agreement, of course, because McMahon can't do anything. I heard the Stone Cold podcast with Ivory, and she's really cool. I really enjoyed listening to her and Stone Cold talk. So, I mean, yeah, I'm pleased with what I've seen so far.
Yeah, no, I thought Ralph was going to comment, so I kind of...
No.
No, you have no opinion on Double J?
It's just like,
I
no.
have no opinion on him.
You know what's funny, though?
Don't really care. Let's put it that way.
But he was the world champion.
Of the world.
He was the world champion of the world. He was the He was the world IC champ. No, he was the heavyweight IC champion of the world.
He was
Wow.
the man who laid down for Hogan, and that's the
finger poke
fall
of
of the
doom.
WCW thing. He was the man who lost to China for the title, IC title.
But come on, honestly, I think I would have lost to China too. I can't fault them on that.
What was I going to say? Oh, yeah. It's funny how they mention him as like an IC champion, show one picture of him with the world title, but don't ever mention him being a world champion. I'm just like, wow, okay, that's really petty. It's like you get your shots in even though you're putting him in the Hall of Fame. Okay.
Hey, you know what? I think the man has done a lot for wrestling, and he deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. Just think of all the people. If you think about it, the TNA of when he started is now the new WWE, pretty much. You know, you got AJ
What?
Samoa Joe. What he started in
Yeah, I
TNA,
got you.
his old TNA, is now the people who are now
Holy crap.
the big people in WWE. AJ Styles, Samoa Joe, you got Roderick Strong in there. Well, not Roderick Strong. Austin Aries was there for a while. You know, you got all these people coming from that, what he started long ago. It just makes sense. So let us know what you think about Double J, Jeff Jarrett coming in. And Ivory, we didn't really talk much about Ivory, but Ivory was a solid competitor at the time. She was probably one of the only people that could actually wrestle when she was in the WWE out of the women. I think she deserves her comeuppance and being in the Hall of Fame. I mean,
She was on Glow, too.
she was on Glow. She did a couple of other women things, like wrestling shows that were just all women. And then she got moved here, did Right to Censor. She was just a tough lady. And you know what? She had some good matches against Jacqueline. So I mean, I think when you're in that era and you have that idea of what that era was when she was coming up with the puppies and all that stuff, the fact that she was
Puppy.
actually a legitimate wrestler, to her credit, and built her reputation by wrestling and not showing off gimmicks, as you'd like to say, I think that says a lot. I do.
Yeah.
You know who coined that phrase?
Who?
Jericho.
The gimmicks?
Yep.
Speaking of which, did you hear the iconic duo is going to get, both of them are getting new gimmicks?
You told me.
I know. Oh, I wanted to bring this to your attention because I was reading 205. Dave Meltzer, Brad Meltzer, it's that's an author. Dave Meltzer recently confirmed that Neville is once again in talks with the WWE about the potential return. It is being said that if both parties do reach an agreement, the former Cruiserweight champion will return sometime in April. For those unaware, Neville left the company in October of 2017 as he was unhappy with the status of the company. Instead of releasing him or letting the contract expire on its own, WWE froze Neville's contract in a situation similar to that of Daniel Bryan and Rey Mysterio. What do you guys think of the possibility of Neville coming back? And do you put him back on 205 Live, or do you see if you let him go for like the IC title?
I think with Triple H now in charge of 205 Live, he would have a better chance there than on the main roster where Mick Mahan still reigns.
I agree. I
Damn.
think you put him on. Oh, don't say damn.
No, just what you said. It's like I agree.
I agree.
I was like,
No,
that's classic Ralph.
It's like giving a giant check mark or a thumbs up.
no. It's just it's true. Like, why would you put him on what's it called, on the main roster when he's just gonna get buried again? I
Right.
think you just have to put him in his 205, make him the king of the cruiserweights again.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Yeah, I agree with that too. I'm excited to see Neville come back, especially with the new landscape they got going. And depending on who becomes the new Cruiserweight champion, you got a great new story coming in saying, you may have won, but I am the king, and then go after that. So whether it's going to be Cedric Alexander or whoever they decide they're going to have him go against, because I'm assuming they're going to have Cedric in the end. But then again, it might swerve me and go Roderick Strong, which I wouldn't have a problem because I like him. it's interesting to see. So, a lot of stuff
I don't
happened
really
this week.
like Roderick though.
Huh?
I don't like Roderick that much. Something about his face bothers me.
Yeah, yeah. Well, there's just certain wrestlers that you just don't connect with, and for you, it's Roderick Strong.
Indeed.
For me, it's a yacht princess. So, anyway.
The pirate queen.
Oh, that's right, Pirate Queen. So anyway, if you have any comments or suggestions or anything, please let us know. Give us a comment down below or on Facebook at ugeekly.com or at ugeekly.com. So every week, one of us picks a current or old school match for us to review. That match is the main event of the week. This week was my pick, and I picked Ricky Steamboat with George the Animal Steele versus Macho Man Randy Savage with Miss Elizabeth at Wrestlemania 3. Now this match, if you've not heard or seen this match, is an amazing match. If you look at any list in the internets about what is the best match, or best WrestleMania match, I would say this is up here with most of them. Either it's number one on someone's list or at least in the top 5. Now, I picked this match because we're heading into WrestleMania season, and it was a match that was one that I came in on when I started watching wrestling. The story behind it was that, Macho Man came off, I guess, at the top. He was one of the only people at the time, besides Ricky Steamboat, who come off the top rope. He came off the top rope and pretty much crushed Ricky Steamboat's larynx, or neck, on the what is it called, the barricade. And he took some time off. They built the story up. He was trying to get better, and then of course there was interference, which is where George the Animal Steele comes in. It was a whole story and a build which they built in time just to go to this match. And then of course you have a man which is very meticulous, as in Randy Macho Man Savage. If you listen to other interviewers or any other wrestlers, they say he was one that liked to plan out spot by bit his matches. And then you have a man like Ricky Steamboat, who pretty much was handpicked by Ric Flair to be his, to be in the world title hunt. You have, and a gentleman that if you talk to any other wrestler in those areas, would say that he is just one of the best workers. That he is so smooth in the ring, and he knows what to do, that he could put on a match pretty much with a broom. So you have these two entities, plus the introduction of George the Animal Steele, Miss Elizabeth, and that kind of weird love triangle going there. The idea that he's coming to, get the IC title, which is alluded to him, to the man who crushed his larynx. He even had that story inside of it. There was so much back and forth, plus at the time where most wrestlers were grounded, you had 2 that actually went to the top rope and flew. And it's always great that, to me, and this kind of goes with what we were talking about with the Asuka-Nia match, to me, when it is not your finishing move, because if you hit that finishing move, then that means you're done and you win via small package. It just makes it big, because then you know that if they did hit that move, it would have been done for either of them. But this case, it was just some surprise. It was something that caught him off guard, and it doesn't make either wrestler look bad, or the wrestler who's actually doing the favors to look bad in that way, that they took the finisher. It meant that they fought a good fight to make sure that they never got their finishing move, and it was just one of those things that they came out of nowhere and it worked. Randy Savage was at the top of his game at this point. It was this match that probably propelled him to do the WrestleMania 4 matches, where he won the title, because at this time, in this era, when you were the IC title, it pretty much shot you up to the WWE title, to the main title.
Yeah.
And this match showed that he can hold a title, that he can do a match, dropping it to another great favorite, another person, if we're talking in the whole Bailey sense, Ricky Steamboat was never a heel, always a babyface, because it just had that persona, like a true babyface person who would come out and just work, and they say it is a masterpiece. Now, of course, we're not in the business. We don't do this regularly. We can't tell you all the hard work that goes into making these matches. All we could do is tell you that when we're watching it, it looks like it's flawless. Like it's so easy. Like they know exactly what they're doing. And that is why this match is considered one of the best WrestleMania matches. I think that the only ones that would probably go ahead of it are the Taker Shawn ones. But if you have people who are more old school, they'll probably put this one before Taker Shawn. So it's all your preference. But if you do look at any list, this is within the top 5. If you haven't seen the match, I suggest you either look at the network or check on YouTube or Daily Motion to see if you can find it. Great match, legends in their own right. Story-wise, everything was amazing. What did you guys think? Anybody?
Okay. I have 2 points to make on this match. When I watched it back this evening, because I've seen it before, but I needed to refresh myself on it. It's like I've said this before, but everything seemed seamless. Like you didn't see them calling spots, you didn't see them talking to each other. They literally went back and forth the entire match, and it all looked smooth. It didn't look like somebody was waiting for somebody else to do something. Like they didn't miss a beat or a step in anything. Like everything just like flowed. I watched some of the Elimination Chamber matches today just to refresh myself again, and things didn't seem as smooth. Things seemed to be a little bit more hesitant. Like they didn't know what they were doing, or they were waiting for the other person to do something. When you watch Steamboat and Savage, my goodness, like they put on a clinic how to act and react without hesitation or pausing. Like if you watch Steamboat's arm drag, that Macho Man react to the arm drag without missing a beat, it was it was art. It was an art watching those two go back and forth. Like you said, to me it was probably the greatest WrestleMania match that I had seen up until the first Undertaker Michaels match. Then after that, I was like, I couldn't. I think the Michaels Taker match outstripped it by like a good margin. Just me personally. The second point, which I alluded to earlier in the podcast, is that Macho Man held the IC title coming into this match for a solid year, and I think 3 or 4 months, and that just doesn't happen these days. He went from one opponent to the other, had his storylines, had his matches, and stayed the champion. So then when somebody took it off of him, being Steamboat, it actually meant something. It was like, holy crap, he beat Macho Man, now he's the champion after a year. Like, you built the story for an entire year, and that's something that they don't do now. Like, The Miz, as good as he is in the way that he carries the title, he still, as much as he says that he's brought prestige to it, like, no, he hasn't done anything close to what Macho Man has done. I think that's something that's missing. The only person who comes close, I think, right now is Brock. Even though he's not there every week, he's been the champion since when? When did he win a title?
WrestleMania, I think. Last WrestleMania, right?
Against Goldberg, right? Yeah, so you're looking at a whole year with him as champion. Now, there's not a built-in story that's taken a year with Brock, with somebody that's a legitimate contender, because we all knew it was going to be Roman Reigns, but there's not anything for a year leading up to that, really. I wish there was. That way, if he lost it, it would mean a little bit more. But, I mean, if Reigns takes it from him, it means that he beat a champion that held it for a year, which kind of means something. The story just isn't the way it should be. But, yeah, that's what I was talking about earlier. And my last point, something that's very interesting. Ricky Steamboat won the IC title the same way he lost the world title to Flair. I'm not sure if anybody caught that or not.
No, I didn't know that.
No.
I didn't see that. Or I didn't read it on that. I actually just watched the match.
Yeah, like, okay, remember he beat him with a small package, right?
Right.
And then remember when he lost to Flair? Flair beat him with the same...
Small package.
Yeah, like he picked him up. Same thing, like Macho Man picked up Steamboat for a body
scoop.
slam. Yeah, scoop slam. And Steamboat reversed into a small package and won. Steamboat did the same thing to Flair, where he picked him up for a scoop slam. Flair reversed it into a small package and won. So, I mean, it's just something like a little interesting tidbit there. I don't think people would catch.
No, only a Flair fan would catch that.
But why does it have to be a Flair fan?
Yeah, why can't it be a Steamboat fan?
Yeah, Steamboat's the equal, the common denominator of both of these.
Because I don't think a Steamboat fan would be like, oh, Steamboat, I'm going to notice how Steamboat lost. No, they're going to notice how Steamboat won.
I did. When he beat Savage.
No, I meant when Flair Steamboat.
Somebody has to lose, man.
Yeah, somebody has to lose, man. That's how that works. Or, not. We'll
See,
get counted out or
I
something.
wouldn't know about losing because I'm winning.
Oh! Wow.
Okay, watch you stop at lucky number... You're going to stop at lucky number 13, and we're going to pass you.
Damn.
I wasn't going to say anything, but that setup was too good for me not
That was
to.
really good, man.
I'm not mad. I can't.
No, I can't be.
You want to know what else, though?
What else?
What?
Ric Flair said himself. This is the man talking. Ric Flair said that Ricky Steamboat would be the greatest, but he never wore heels. That's the only thing that separates the two.
He never wore heels or worked heel?
Wore heels. That's a expression for saying you were never a heel.
Oh, I never heard that expression.
Yeah,
kind of threw me off on that one.
Huh?
Well, what do you think, Ralph?
I like the match. For
Did you
me,
watch
see,
it?
I watched it. You laugh, but I watched it. It's different for me than for you guys because when I started watching wrestling, all these people were kind of past their primes, like they weren't. So for me, it's kind of like a nice surprise watching them in their prime and seeing them what they were able to do back in the days. So as much as you give me grief, I like watching those matches. I like seeing what they were able to do, and it's a different pace than what I'm used to.
But this was a pretty quick pace, though.
Yeah, but there weren't no like really big high spot aside from Macho's elbow,
Flying elbow.
the flying elbow of Doom.
It usually spelt Doom, but I don't know, man. The referee was knocked out.
And I have what was the animal wearing a sweater?
No.
Was it that cold?
When I was a little kid, that always confused me. It's like, is he really that hairy?
He was really that hairy. That was funny, Mark. Ralph. That was funny. I was like... So...
I don't know.
I don't know. So that's the match, the main event match of the week. Ricky Steamboat with George Animal Steele versus Macho Man Randy Savage with Miss Elizabeth for the IC title or the Intercontinental title at Wrestlemania 3. We want to thank you for listening, and we're part of the unique Geek Network. So look for us on our website, which is YouGeekly, which is UGEEKLY. We're on Podbean and Apple Podcasts, so please subscribe and leave us a comment and give us 5 stars. Maybe we'll read it if we get one.
Oh, God.
Until next time, I'm Jose Sands. I'm here with
Hollywood,
and
Big Ralph.
saying, see you next time.
Sayonara.
Maybe.
Maybe.